Hi guys, Becca here. I'm just going to show you the 5 steps of tapping just to make it clear to you on how to do it and so you can follow this video at your leisure. So tapping can be divided into 5 different steps. So the first step is to identify the issue that you want to tackle. So in order for this to be effective, you need to spend some time thinking about this specific issue. So this might be something related to stress, so perhaps you might have an exam coming up, or a work project, or something that's making you feel a bit fearful or negative, and that is the target issue that we want to identify today. So once you have that, you need to test your initial intensity of how you're going to overcome it. So normally you kind of rate it from a scale of 0 to 10 of how you find the stressor, let's call it. So initially, if you're going into an exam and it's a week away, perhaps your stress level will be significantly lower than when your exam is the day before. You're going to be feeling a lot more stressed potentially. So in terms of doing the tapping, just bear that in mind that you might need to do the process perhaps a couple more times dependent on the intensity of the stressor. So the next is the setting up, so having the 2 main goals to focus on, so acknowledging the issue and then accepting yourself despite the problem that we're trying to tackle. So a common kind of phrase and setup would be, even though I have this fear or problem, whatever that is, I deeply and completely accept myself. So even though you have that worry, fear about the stressor, you accept yourself for it, because we're all human and we all have these worries and emotions and anxious feelings, that it's okay to be able to recognize those and then you can move forward to tackle them. So the sequence of tapping effectively looks at different meridian points around the body. So these are kind of like the hot spots, they're called, and they kind of align throughout your body and work very closely with key aspects of your internal organs. So we kind of start off by tapping just your wrist, just a pulse point of your wrist. So just tap that a few times and say your given phrase that I accept that I am fearful about my exam, for example, but I love and accept myself anyway. I accept that I have fear about my exam, but I love and accept myself anyway. So once you've done that a few times, then move to the top of your head. And then move to your eyebrow, just where it starts. And then move to the underside of the eye. And the side of the eye. And under the nose. And under the chin, and just the beginning part of your collarbone. So I normally do my whole hand, and then under the arm, so just below your armpit. And then you can repeat that sequence a few times, and whilst you're doing it, ideally you should be saying your phrase to try and tackle each point. So I accept that I am fearful of my exam, but I love and accept myself anyway. And keep repeating it at each point. Okay? So by doing all these key aspects and points, they actually trigger something within your body. And if you understand and perhaps want to delve more into holistic side of healing, then this also corresponds and links quite nicely with a topic called Reiki. And that also looks at chakra points. So meridians are quite similar to the key chakra points. So I might do a video on that if you guys want. So the final kind of test is, once you've repeated this perhaps 2 to 3 times, just to affirm each point to you and love and accept yourself anyway, even though the fear perhaps is quite stressful for you. I think if you can tackle that each time, you probably even notice by the time you've done it a 3rd time, you're going to feel so much different to how you first did when you initially started it. So at the end of the sequence, potentially write down from a scale of 0 to 10 of how you're feeling before and after, and then you can kind of see the results. So give it a try and let me know what you think. Bye guys!